All right, this is Adam doing a quick video inspection here on some hail damage out here in Palm Bay, Florida. So hopefully you can hear me and not the wind. Trying to get this here on video for the customer. So this is just my accessory counts. This just lets me know what protrusions I'm looking at on top of the roof, so that when we are doing what we call basically a tear off and we know what material is going back, we can order correctly. So in this section here, let me start with this. We're looking at a roof. It's either anywhere between 9 and 11 years old. Heavy granular depletion on some areas. There's also a good bit of blistering, which blistering can be problematic when we're talking about hail damage, because essentially they look like hail damage in in a certain context. But if you look real close, you can see it kind of looks like there was just a bubble that bursted in the actual shingle itself and came to the surface. So I'll show you the difference between the two in the video. What I did see though, I did find evidence of hail damage. I did a ground collateral walk. So basically on this back slope, the screens that are facing this direction definitely had evidence of some hail fall above eye level. So when we're looking for that stuff, we want to look for something that's above eye level. That way we know it's not just a pebble that got flicked into the screen by a lawnmower or something like that. It could just be walking by, maybe even a pet, something like that. So we want to make sure it's above eye level. Now, I did see evidence of hail here. I just want to kind of show you a couple pieces here. So you can see it's got an indentation. It's even soft to the touch, kind of like a bruised apple. So we come down here, we can see a couple more spots like that. We can tell there were some impacts. And it just knocked off this granular surface. Now what this granular surface does is it's like the UV protection or the sunblock to the actual asphalt matting. So if we're looking at hail damage, right, you can see here what it did was it knocked the granules off. Okay, and now what you have exposed is that black material. That's the asphalt matting. The sun gets in there and starts to cook through that and causes these little thermal cracks. So with those little thermal cracks, this whole roof, instead of a water shedding system, right, it becomes a colander. It's got like these little holes in there where you can get behind the roof system, which is why hail can become such a devastating loss. And if you have big enough hail, it can actually puncture straight through the matting into the decking. I know in Colorado and some of the Midwest, they actually have baseball size hail, which in some cases has been known to actually come through the roof and end up in like dining room tables. So that we're not looking at that here today. Basically we're looking at pea to nickel size hail, mostly nickel size. So on the front slope here, I've got hail count of 10 plus, kind of like I did on the back. Got a couple more pieces here, right? Hitting in some of this softer area where the granules are already loose up here, not quite as dense as they are here. Generally on any asphalt shingle, or rather architectural asphalt shingle I see, I do see that there's always a sparsity of shingles in those areas. So got a couple small ones, probably looking more like a pea size, right? A couple good contacts. This side I don't believe got hit as much as the back side, although I did find more hail hits in this box, but I was out here for a little bit longer on this side. Now let's talk a little bit, and I think the reason for that is because the hail came from this direction. So I just kind of want to show you what a blister looks like. Actually, I can see some of the blistering up here. So here's a good example of a blister. Basically, it's just gases that got caught inside of the actual shingle and just kind of popped out, sort of like a pimple. It's you would see this with old roads that they used to make, and they would put tar on it, I guess, to have some continuity there in the triangle structure. But they would end up having these little bubbles, and basically it's just gases or pockets of air that get caught in there and end up just kind of popping out. So you can actually see that. Now this right here, it could very well be that this is a 3-tap roof that they cut off and made hip and ridge cap. I actually believe that's what's the case, because you can come over here and see when you bend these shingles, right? They're not designed to be bent, so you can end up seeing that once they get creased like that, all the granules kind of come off. but this is what happens when you bend those shingles. So when we do put a roof on here, we are going to go back on with a hip and ridge shingle. Hip and ridge shingle is going to be, it's got a flexible matting, but also the same wind mile rating as the kind of shingles you'll have on the face here. So we want to do that for sure when we're replacing the roof. Overall, I mean, there's definitely some evidence of hail here. I'm going to bring this down to the homeowner. I know she wanted to bring the information to her daughter. They're going to make a decision together. So that's what we're going to do. Basically provide this information, and I'm here if they have any questions. All right, this is Adam signing out.